Test. Testing. Let's see how. Okay. Why don't you see a screen? Ah, now I know. Thank you. Better? Yeah, that looks better. Good morning, everybody. Now that looked like a full retracement that we did yesterday. So from now on, if we see a shift to the upside, we're gonna take a look for longs again. So this was the full movement, and let me take that other retracement on. So you can see we liked. Excuse me, that we were actually very close to that 780 level. So this is for me a full retracement. So that was that push that I was expecting us to hit. If we watched on a 15-minute, we probably just hit a value gap inside here. So we did lack a little bit of displacement right here. We hit that opening gap, so want to see how we act off of it. If we move down, we're probably gonna fill up these two for value gaps and then continue up higher. Once we see a change in shift on the hourly too, we want to definitely look for longs right now. So full analysis of yesterday again. So this area, I said in the morning session that we would have shorted off of it. I gotta be honest, once this actually happened, that was a very strong 1 hour candle. I was not looking for shorts at that point. And I did say it in the morning, we were gonna short, so my limit order was here. But I did not watch the 4 hour correctly. I'm gonna explain exactly what happened. I was watching the hourly and this showed very bullish structure. Now why was this a retracement and all the displacement to the upside again? On that 4 hour, if we watch the move that we made, we actually hit, look, a 50 level of a retracement, and we never took out a high yet actually. So in this move, that was the full move that we had. We came back to that 50 level, fair value of price, and the market just continued down. So on a 4 hour, that was that retracement that we actually had. And I was watching it on an hourly, and that looks quite different at that point. I just needed to watch an hour higher. The same like I explained yesterday morning, why. Okay, the lesson is online, so if you want to watch it again, you can actually how to use higher time frames to know So watch that again. It's definitely important for everybody to understand why we were actually shorting yesterday, and this was just a manipulation movement. Like I said, every day will be a small lesson into it, and we will continue to grow together. For now, in this movement, what we actually did, so this is the last move actually that we made. So any movement to the downside, to the lower part, we probably start looking for longs again. Yeah, if it wants to go way lower, then it's not looking good for any markets actually. Bullmans, I hope you bought yesterday. That was your entry when on Bitcoin. I said it will come. You had the patience and it came actually. Look, we hit that fair value of price right here. That was a monthly fair value. Oh, we almost hit that monthly fair value gap. So that was a fair value of price. Again, also on a monthly movement. So this should be, or we have to push up straight from here, or we're gonna fall a lot lower. So keep that in mind. Crypto at this point is not looking very bright. I'm gonna set open orb. I'm gonna look for an entry for myself in a minute. Where is my tool? Oh, there it is. Before I start, let's take. Yeah, it still can go a little bit lower. Fully agree. It will depend on what the market actually shows us in a few days. If the bull run is over, like I said in the beginning of October, that the end of November. What I said in the beginning of October, that at November the bull run normally ends. That's just historically that I use that part. So it actually comes a line. I'm gonna open Forex Factory for a second on another computer to take a look if we have some news. What do we see? Events. We had news at 8. So actually right now we had news. So 15 minutes ago we got some news right now coming out, and small news is along the day fully. We do have at 2:30 and at 2:15 a special news, the US Treasury, so this is can definitely do something for the market. For the rest, it looks pretty okay. In the afternoon, oil, but normally it doesn't do anything for us. Tariff hearing, okay, this can do something too at 4 o'clock. We have tariff again, so this definitely can do something in the afternoon too. But for now, the first news that comes out is at 11, or at 9, 45, and at 10:30. So in between, we should be good. I'll take out my trade journal for a second. I'm going to close a few things. So I'm up 27.5 or 55 trades. This should have been a way better trade. I have to keep to myself. It's in big letters. Keep your trades open longer. nonetheless, was very happy for what I did. So the major structure is still that we're moving lower at this point. We didn't have a huge shift. The second of all, this 4 hour indeed just started inside, so we didn't actually have that shift yet to say we want to go full out in longs. Yeah, once we actually take out this high, we can definitely look for longs. Then we have actually the optimal opportunity to go back to the long phase. So that's when we take out 25,593. We want to definitely look for longs. I'm gonna try it anyways. Once we hit those lower parts of the valley gaps, those two right here, and we don't take out this low yet, I'm gonna long off of it to the highs. The only thing is we didn't have a big displacement above this high, and we actually came into our opening gap for today, so we tapped it and we got actually rejected off of it. So this is the only thing I'm not so a fan of. But for the rest, the market, if it wants to go up, it should do it at this area, because this is the full movement also on a 6 hour. So this would be that displacement that we had on the 6 hour. We hit that 7-8 level nicely. We had full rejection off of it. So if we want to move to the upside, it should be here. If we don't move to the upside, we have a whole lot of liquidity left open that we didn't tap yet. So if you want to take a trend line liquidity, look, this is what we will take out. So all of this will be taken out then. That's going to be a huge jump. I see it even go to 20,800 back then. So once we drop below 24,800, we are on a full bear move, and that means that we are definitely displacing everything that we moved up here back to retracement, so we can actually go back to 21,000. I know not a lot of people like to hear this, but it is what it is. We're here to read charts, not to make people happy. But for now, that would be, I believe, an orb to the downside. Yes, that was an orb to the downside. If you take this lower, I would take a look for, once we take out this liquidity here, be aware of it. So these are trend line liquidities that we build up. We can actually put liquidity right here, so you can see we built this up. So once we breach this low, we will take out both of them, and then I want to see these fair value gaps of a 15-minute get hit actually. If you're an orb trader, that would be a down movement right now, or a pre-orb trader actually. For myself at the moment, I don't see an entry. This was the only liquidity pool that I saw that we could have shorted from directly. I was not in time yet. So I only came on 8, so that was a half hour ago. We could not jump straight into this because we had a huge gap inside actually. So the only good area, if this is the last displacement movement that I see, is these two candles would be a nice entry place to take a long off. Let's see how big these are. That's 115 points, that's way too much to take. 70 points, can we do it? Do we see something small inside? It's a decent trade. The only thing is you have a 91 point stop, so this is the main idea that I would want on a long off of it. The good thing is if we do short and take this out, we can actually go up way further. We don't need to watch just that first structure, we can actually go back all the way to a higher structure. Like I said, the only thing I don't like about this long at this point is that we got rejected of the opening gap, but that's actually quite normal too. That we have open liquidity right here, so we have some movement off of it. So if London takes out this liquidity right here, together with Reorb, I would definitely like the long. For me, most of the movement that we actually should have done, we actually did. We filled up the full for value gap right here on that daily too, so I would say we're good to go a bit up higher again for today. So that would be the thing that I see right now. So that would be the ideal play for today at this moment. I'll take myself a drink in the meantime. This is open, so that will be a limit order for myself to long off. If I see anything in between, we can take a look further. And I'm gonna add the second lesson today. Like I said, I will go for very small ones every day, 5, 10, maybe max 20 minutes, so that I keep educating you all slowly, step by step. Gonna get myself a drink. I'll be right back. And for you Bowmans, for Bitcoin, you can choose, or you can hold a bit longer and be more patient, or you can just buy a small part of your investment and do the next coming months, like every month, Say that you have a capital for 10,000 to put into it, you can actually just keep buying like every month $500 to $1,000, and you'll get a nice average. This is what I would do. So if you buy like every month a little bit, you actually get a very nice average. You will be at a better time than anybody else. DCA it's slow, yeah. You would probably have a better entry model than most of the people actually buying when they are actually feeling FOMO that they missed something. And now we're actually at a huge amount of fear, so not many people like to buy right now. So this is indicating to me that we have a great opportunity. Morning Euros, how are we doing? So in the meantime, this is a limit order, guys. So at 25,375, I put my stop at a low wick, and I want a long off of it. So that would be this movement back down to here and then move up. If we go back to that opening gap, we have at least already a 2R, so it's definitely a nice trade. We will see how far we can take this up. But if the market shifts from here, because we had a full retracement, we can actually have a very decent trade today. Now, lesson for today too. I'll go over this one. Where is my text? Somewhere. Here it is. The small lesson today is going to be about manipulation and displacement. So I got the chart open on the right side of me, so I can follow up. If anything happens, I'll switch. So why is it important to know what manipulation and displacement is? So I'm gonna explain it like this. Once we actually have a movement, so if you have displacement, this is let me take this one off. So if we have a movement in a direction, we want to see displacement to see a continuation movement. So we're trading continuations, so we want to see that displacement. So what we see a high get taken, and we have a nice force above it. Again, we see a next high get taken, and we got a nice force moved above it. Again here, and then here we see that we get lack of displacement. So we actually stopped moving above it, and we actually had a small movement above it. So this is actually a manipulative move, and you have to see this manipulation as people got trapped right here before the market actually starts shifting back to the other side. And when this happens, you actually have to know that the market is tending to shift sides. Now, we have to compare this together with the higher time frames. Because if the higher time frame was actually in a short at that point, and we had our FIB2, so this was the move of a higher time frame, and we see us come back to fair value of price after this retracement or beautiful moves with beautiful displacement constantly up. And this is, say that this is a 4 hour. Once we get to that fair value of price and we see a lack of displacement, people are not aware of the higher time frame at that point. We are, because I'm teaching you guys this. And once we hit that 50 level, we want to see if we fail displacement, this is going to be a manipulation movement for the market then to shift actually back down. The reason why is because we had a movement down So we came actually from a higher time frame movement lower. We had a 50% retracement, and then we actually are continuing the daily structure. So if this was a day structure, you can say this looked like a day then, and that would be the move. So to fully understand this movement, so we need to use this in the context of the higher time frame. So to know where the market is headed, we need to use this in the right time frame. Now, if this time frame shows us daily that we are retracing from an impulsive move, now we know if we hit that 50 level or a bit higher, that there is a huge possibility once we stop moving above highs with force that the market is tend to shift. And once you see this on a lower time frame doing this kind of movement, this can be on a 5 or a 15 minute that you actually see this kind of movement back to downside. We actually know then that the higher time frame shows us we already hit our fair value of level and we want to go back to the movement that the higher time frame is actually doing. This is how we actually find an optimal entry for ourselves, and this is why I want to trade this level to short or to long again. That's just exactly the same movement. Also why I took that short yesterday. Now, do they show that we are on a retracement or a continuation movement? So the higher time frame needs to show you what are we doing. Are we falling down or are we in a retracement move? And once the market starts to move like this, then after we had a retracement move, we are tend to look again for the same movement that we are actually wanting to move. Now I'm going to show you the same movement on an uptrend. Say that we were on an uptrend right now. So this was the daily move. We already had a retracement and we are forming displacements. And you will see this move come happening too. We will see that the market wants to manipulate people right here, intending, and then the market wants to do this. So here the market at a 4 hour will shift inside and manipulate people to go short again because they will believe, because the market here shifted under a high or under a low, to go back down. Now if you watch this on a higher time frame, we already had a retracement. So once the market is actually inside a 4 hour based moving towards a high again, if this was a retracement, we do not want to look for shorts right here. We want to be able to see the manipulative move and then continue our first bias that we actually had until the market actually fully shifts under this low. And once we see a displacement then, or a manipulative move to the downside here, this is where people get trapped, and this is for us to recognize because of the higher time frame shows that we actually are moving up. This is why we do not short at this level. We need to know this, or you need to be able to see this, so that you know to trade with the smart money, or actually the people that push the markets in the direction where they want to. And you will see after this manipulative move, they trapped a lot of sellers right here. And they need those contracts to then push the markets in the direction again where we want to. Because this 4 hour is actually aiming for this high. Because after taking out a high, retracing back to fair value of price, we have internal liquidity pool. So say that this is a fair value gap somewhere, what we use most of the time. That this was an optimal entry. After this entry, we go to an external level. So we need to take out, if the market continues to do the movement it should be doing, we take out an external level because here we create that boss to the upside. And this is exactly what happened yesterday on a 4 hour chart. So we saw the same movement this was the movement that we had. And this is why I said on a 15-minute based, this is a bit lower time frame to have a better optimal entry, that I said we want to short from this level. Because we actually had a full impulsive move, and a 4 hour was showing a retracement of that move to then continue. And where do we continue to? At least the lows where we came from. Because we came from an external level back to a fair value of price to an internal liquidity pool. That 15 minutes for value gap is a very good footprint or entry model that we can take, that I actually use every day. And then we have to short it back down. Nonetheless, once we were in here, this does not look like a short position, because you can see how strong these candles move. But because we watch higher time frames too, to ensure that the movement that we're taking is correctly, this is how we can interpret where the market is headed. So, small lesson for today, a lot of information inside. Rewatch that, I'll put it online in the afternoon session. Tomorrow. It's recorded live and I cannot download it for the next 24 hours. Afterwards I can put it online. So tomorrow morning I'll probably put it online. Keep that in mind if you're trading lower or higher time frames, that they all align with each other so that you can trade with it. Yeah, yesterday was a very nice sell indeed. Yeah, I didn't even remember that my limit order was still there. So, and I have to admit too, in the afternoon session, I was looking at the context on a different level because I wasn't watching at the 4 hour. Even I can make sometimes some human error. I try to do my best to make them as less as possible, but I'm still human. And this is actually how we need to see the market. So it moves in waves, and it moves from external back to internal, for value of price back to external. So now here we have two options at this moment. We could have shorted from this position, also back to that level. But I'm not a fan of shorting at this area to the downside. I'd rather be patient until the market comes here and then join the bigger movement. For me, at this point, we had the retracement. So I want to see now the displacement back to the upside. If we do not do this today, we have a huge possibility that we keep falling and that we take everything out. And that is not going to be a nice one for the market. But then you will see every market do the same. And it will be the same for gold, silver, anything. Gold actually start moving lower and at a very rapid pace. But that we will be in about half a week from now, we will be more sure what the market actually wants to do. Yeah, that trade from yesterday would, if I played it, let this play out fully. This was the short that I took, that I was in. So my stop at the high, just to here, was a 5. I could only keep it open to here because this was the close of the market actually. So that was maximum of an 8.8. Very decent trade. I did not keep it open, I only took 1.6 hour out of it. So same for the day before. We took also a short from this area down to displacement to London low. The same movement, the same module that I had, because I was seeing already the market wanted to flush. So we took a 15-minute entry on this a high and we took it back to London low. Then I said I wanted to go back, so the same movement. So this is, say we take the 15-minute move. This was the last move. Look what the market did. It came back to fair value of price. Even if you only took it to fair value of price and put your stop at the high, you still would be an okay trade. The only thing was you could not trade this on top step or anything else because we closed here overnight. And then in the morning session we had that full move. But both entries would have been perfectly fine, and the same movement because the higher time frame shows us we wanted to go lower. A lot of value in this, guys. Definitely watch that again until that sinks in so good that you actually remember that movement. It will constantly come back. It's important for yourself. So for now on, every morning, so anybody that's here in the morning sessions, you guys are lucky. You guys get a free educational part of me. All the lessons that I've been teaching here in the morning sessions will definitely go added to the bootcamp. Anybody that referrals anybody inside to the bootcamp, let me know if you have a friend that wants to learn trading, or you get a commission off of it. I'm sharing 30% of every profit that I make to somebody that refers anybody into it. So let me know if you know anybody. You're always welcome. Starting next week, everything will be online, and lifetime access will be limited to a max of 20 persons. I will not let anybody else into it because it takes a lot more time for myself, because those have the access to chat with me directly, and I'll make sure that they get to the level that I want them to get. If you just do the bootcamp, you get every lesson for free every time I update it too. The only thing that you get difference is you only have like a month of Discord community with us. The lessons will be online forever, so those you will be having, and all the updates will be added too, so those are always gonna be there for you. Just the community itself, then you will have to be paying monthly base, so that's up to you. Anybody in here that's in the Discord right now, you guys are good. You're the lucky ones. So the orb definitely looks good, still looks good. We're just playing around this session right here. We came into for value gap, we're just holding right now. Yeah, if we can get it on the last for Valiga, that would even be a better entry, but I'm just gonna take it. So we dropped one, we took liquidity, we take it halfway. That's about a 90-point stop, so it will be like a one contract I can put into it. If I'm incorrect, that means that the market will flush a lot lower, and then we could hit actually to 25,000 level. That would be the first extra indication that we have. We have a huge left open 1 hour for value gap right here. So if I'm not correct right here, we will fall further to that 25k level. We're gonna be patient and see what Open does. If Open wants to take out London low or Asia low, that's right here. It tends to want to take the low or the high of the day. So will definitely depend on how London moves. And for now, let's be patient. If you're an orb short, it will hit this level, so you're good to go. If anybody has a question, you're always welcome to ask. Yeah, if you took the full 2 trades that actually played out this week, we actually had not to trade anymore for the whole month. Still, patience, structure, and having a good plan to trade off is the only thing that you actually need. A repeated structure and a repeated movement. So anybody that doesn't understand why we want to enter here, ask please, so that you can learn how and why we enter there. It's important that you can also see that for yourself. I can tell you it every day, but you can be here every day with me. I'm happy to, but I want to be making sure that everybody understands this so that you can do this without me. I don't want to be here every day for you. I want to make sure that you can do it without me. This is why I'm doing it. And I'm doing it because I have a lot of fun in it too. But I get the most satisfaction out of it if you guys understand it. Like Bullmans did. Very happy for you, man, yesterday too. Nice trade you took. Very clean entry. You had the patience until that structure shift came. You waited for that retest. You saw the movement and it went up. And you took profit soon enough to not let the move come back to you. So, not sure you learned everything from me, but still happy that you took a very nice trade. And he is not the youngest person in here, so But he's very dedicated, I must say. He's here every day, he's showing promises, and this is what real traders have to do. Show up every day, be there, do the work, do the exercises, and make sure that you learn from it. And if you don't understand anything, ask, and I can help. But for now, the only thing we can do is be patient. The market will come to that level, and then see what happens. But until that comes to that level, I'm not entering anything. Unless we have a huge displacement to the upside, and then that's something different. But at this point, I just want to see it from here. Look how clean that was, Ethereum. Halfway that fair value gap to 3000. Also weekly fair value gap fully filled. Again, this is exactly the same. So we had liquidity, we had a huge displacement. So this was definitely liquidity pool here. And then this move we made. What do we hit again? Fair value of price, 60 level, footprint, move off of it. So if we displace now to the upside again in this week and we do not fall back into this gap, we're good to go. That means that the market will continue up. And this is the only area that is a tricky point. So if you want to enter this, you can. The only thing is, to be sure, you got a 30% chance of missing. So if we drop further down, we have a 30% drop immediately. If we do not have that drop and you entered, actually, you got a 50% move up. Those are the two options that we have. Right, this takes a long time to play out, guys. This took from here 119 days, so that's a decent amount of time. Monthly the same, so this took 1, 2, 3, 4. This 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5 months of work before we had that retracement. The only thing on a monthly basis is that we actually did not displace above the highs. So we got rejected of previous all-time high on Ethereum actually. This is something I don't like to see. But that was also the reason that we knew that the market was coming back lower. Gonna keep this one open right now, see what happens. Oh, nice one. Love the answer, Wilmot. That you eat and talk. The silence part is actually to learn to listen better. I got one of the... so one of my not good skills is that I used to want to know everything better. And want to learn everybody on the same base and faster. So the reason why I'm sometimes quiet is actually to learn to listen to my child better. So that I can understand her better. This is why I sometimes don't speak, but I love the comment. And eating is actually, it's actually very healthy to eat one time, not a day. So I only eat once a day, so that's actually very healthy for your body. I still do exercises, so I start running again this week. I would love to sit down and chat with you once a day. I believe I can learn a lot. The more life experience you have, the more we can learn actually from each other. So 3 minutes for open. If we take out the high first right here in open, and we see a shift down, we maybe can take a small short back to the low. This limit order stays in no matter what. Well, if we take out the high first, we can have maybe a small short down to that area. If not, it will be like it is. 2 minutes for open. Like I said, everything that I will teach along the way in these sessions live. I'll make sure that they are added. So here's open. It definitely looks like it wants to take out this liquidity right now. Our favorite mascot says hello. You can see those are 30 minutes, so this small market is chopped right now, so just be patient until the market moves again. Do not trade this, guys, just be patient. The key ingredients of a good trader is 1, patience. 2, have a structured plan. 3, follow it. I don't know, not a lot of humans can watch 2 hours of charting every day, but it is what it needs to be done. Oh, actually, we don't need to be here. If it, like I said, if it wasn't for you, I'd just put in that limit order and be done with it for the day. Come back a bit later and see what happens. Nice one, Emily. Look, I've been imprinting you guys so much that you actually already know it better than me do. Full agree. Keep your emotions in check. Oh. Yeah, and it's not an easy one, believe me, in the beginning. To learn to know yourself, how emotions work. And it's actually very funny because you're not even trading live money and you already feel the emotions. So there's something very strange with that. But believe me, it's all just psychology. It's something very normal. And but the people that actually invented prop firms know how people psychology works, and this is why they actually started doing this. The only trade that I see right now is that we could take is if we hit that 30-minute for value gap that actually aligns with a 15-minute right here. That we could take a short off if we put the high at the high. If somebody wants to actionable trade faster, that would it looks like something like this then. And if we have a higher 5-minute inside, you could actually take it to that last 5 minutes, something like this, that you have a better entry point. Because this for value gaps right here just got invalid all of them, so it looks like the market wants to continue lower because they invalidated the for value gaps. But we see it soon enough when we get this tap right here. This would be a valid trade, by the way. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not taking this, just showing you what I see. So we now hit our last 5 minutes. So here we should in the next 50 seconds drop fast. To get back inside this candle, and then this formation would look great. Again, I'm not in this, just showing what I see. Juliana. I gotta ask, is the sound better on YouTube today, or is it about the same like always? Again, not the fastest London has been slow lately. So we just had small news, and we can actually see that in a candle, I believe. This was a news candle, actually. If we start displacing higher, we find a 15-minute entry. I would long off of that too. Back to higher, of course, but it depends on how the market here acts. Like if we have a nice 15-minute gap somewhere, once we see displace above these highs here, and we see a continuation, I would definitely like to long it too. I prefer it from down here because this is an optimal entry, but nonetheless, it would look the same almost. So now we should have the movement of that short that I showed a second ago. We want to see how do we act on this FEG. Do we fall further through? We need to fall actually right here. We cannot stall around. We can maybe go a bit sideways. We cannot take out our high again. We need to displace right here. If I was accurate. Remember, if you're a trader, we only have a 60% win rate. That means that you need to be able to let go of your not profitable trades and try to say, oh, this is a nice one actually. Once you are actually in a trade, see yourself having a winning trade. Yeah, it's not an easy one, but people that actually are very rich and well successful, they think in a way like, what would it be like if I had this or that? They all actually start thinking like this, and this is how they actually see an outcome where other people would never be able to see it yet. So if you're in a trade, ask yourselves, what if this trade would end good? Even if your emotion was not a good moment at that point, ask yourself, what if this trade plays out good? How would you feel? And see the trade play out good too. It's not an easy exercise, but try to do this when you're in a trade. Not sure if everybody heard that. My dog was knocking on the door. So those what if questions are actually the most important thing that you can do if you don't know the answer yet. Just ask yourself, what if it looked like this? What would it feel like if I had this or this? What would it feel, or what would I do when I got that or that? How would you act? Would you act differently? This would also help you control your emotions more. If you did take that short, it looks good. I said I wouldn't, but that was definitely a perfectly nice entry. Because we had a 30-minute for value gap, a 15-minute for value gap laying over each other. And those are typically good entries. And I said take it on the last and stop at the high. So you should be very nicely good. Just let it drop then. I would definitely take partials when we get to that level here, where I'm entering along. And if you are sometimes not seeing it yet, go watch the half hour, 15 minutes, a bit higher time frame, so you can see that was a half hour FEG right here. This was the structure that we made. We got a rejection of the high of that opening gap right here, and then we want to see or displacement higher or a small retracement, because this was a move that did not have a retracement yet, so that would be that 50 level for that retracement. So this is why I just took it a bit lower to take an entry. I believe pre-orb is still okay. It is at 8 o'clock, so if you took the high, you're still okay. We should fall further down right now. That would even be a better entry than pre-orb itself. You just had a bit more patience until those per value gaps got tapped. But I do want to see movement down right now if we want to see that be correct. So anybody that wants to take a trade with me, my limit order is on the screen, so you can just enter it. Stops at the lows and take it up at least to that day gap or the high, and then see if we can displace even higher. I could see somebody's. Okay. After Asia was taken, I waited to this 5-minute FEG and took a short, so I'm in the short. My stop is at 25,546. My TP is at 25,546. So where's your stop? You said stop is at 25,546. Just above the 5-minute, right? 546. Oh, it's up decent high. Yeah, looks good. And you want to take it to, my stop is at, yes, and your TP is at 25,444. Yeah, decent trade. Definitely to war. So if you entered it on the last and you took it from here just to that level, 4 you took it to, so that's 3.46 are definitely a decent trade. Good ratio, reward ratio, nice entry. You had a patience, you had 2 key levels. We got, this was a Newsweek, so it doesn't count actually. This move up, we came into multiple for value gaps. We were chopping around here. We had an infingled candle right here too, an hourly that showed strength to the downside. So everything looks like it wanted to do that part. So I fully agree. Great entry. If I just read the tapes, what I see right here, that would be like an optimal movement. It will depend on the next 2 minutes. I want to see displacement to the lows right now in the next 2 minutes. So this 30 minutes we tapped after value gap, we came almost to the high. Now I want to see it fall down in the next 2 minutes. Yeah, these trades around these areas are a bit more how do I call it? Less secure. The only reason why this is a bit less secure is we didn't take out Asia high yet. So this is Asia high at the top and it's still intact right now. But for the rest, this looks like beautiful. And then all you can do is have patience and just let this trade play out. I gotta ask, Bill Mons, did you learn to trade from somebody else before me? Or did you have any educational before me? Not sure I will get a trade inside the stream, but limit orders are there, so anybody that wants to join the trade, the limit is in. Wait, we have 2 months for Playbit. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, not much education actually on Playbit. It's more follow along. But you do learn a lot by just listening. And you've grown a lot fast. If anybody wants to know how far I am on the 100 trade challenge, I'm 55 trades in and I'm up 27.5. And this is just 15-minute continuations right now that we took. And all traded live in stream. Skywalker, can you explain was yesterday's Bournemouth entry. Which one? Of the afternoon? That's Skywalker. He likes Star Wars. Or she likes Star Wars. Was it in this one? Yeah, from the afternoon session, of course. I actually saw the same. I wanted to try it out on a 1 minute actually. So this was the afternoon session. So when we came in session play, we came in to the session right here. And I believe he tapped on a minute that he entered. Let me take yesterday's session. So right here. So what do we see on an... this was a 15-minute for value gap that we were still trading into. We didn't take Asia low right here. So we left that open. We had a displacement to the downside. Then we had on a 1 minute base the food changing character to the upside. We had stacked for value gaps on each other, so we had an inverted for value gap on each other, and I believe bull months entered on the close once we entered here to the upside. Am I correct, bull months? I think it was on this level he took it, so because we had displacement to the upside, we had a changing character right here to the upsides. We had a retracement of this. It was respected. And once we broke that high again, I believe he entered and just put his stop at the low and then continued up. And he took a 2R of this. So he just entered straight, I believe, of a close of a candle. Stops, I believe, at this low, and this he took 2R, something like this. Correct me if I'm not 100% correct. I would have entered on this one. That was my ideal entry that I wanted to see. But I was also already on a limit short right here, so that would have been playing against my own hand. I was just patient enough to take that short. This is just simple market structure because we had a changing character, retest of that for value. Once we have a displacement and we have a retest of it, most of the times the market just continues to that movement. So the optimal entry would actually be this for value gap, stop at the lows, continue. First TP would be, of course, the first high. That's not enough to take portion yet, so you could actually, if we just took a 2R out of it, easy trade. Not sure where we're at yet right now. So a bit of a choppy market right now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of sideways movement, guys. Be patient. Do not do anything at this moment. You cannot. We can trade this, but we do not have the full displacement yet. So just be patient. this is still a valid looking trade because we now just took out the high and we didn't take out this high yet, so this is still a valid play what he's in. Nonetheless, it looks like it wants to move up a bit higher, but still. Not the strongest move of markets either. Like I said, it's a bit of a chopped market, so keep your hands off of it if you're in nothing right now. No point of trading this until the market fully displaces into a direction. We have news in about 10 minutes, I believe, yeah. So probably we're gonna move in about 10 minutes. So if we have a lot of news on the day itself, we can see a chopped market a lot faster. And always be okay with every trade you take, no matter what the outcome is. And never jump in a trade again if the outcome is good or bad. Just be patient for the next entry that you get. There's always a next entry. But don't ever chase markets. Let the market come to you. So we're here to trade, and if your analysis is good and you know exactly how to read the market step by step, and you see the market flow to a direction, be patient until the market comes to your structure and then enter that trade. So we don't need to chase the market, and the market needs to chase us. So we need to be able to set our limit order before time, if you're trading continuations anyways. And that's just following market structure, so following the market's move. Who are you in the group, Skywalker? So if you saw the trade from yesterday, you're definitely in the Discord, so... But this is not your name on Discord, because I don't have Skywalkers in my Discord. If you're here in the afternoon, I'll go over it in chat. I can then open that chart again and fully see the movement. He's here every day, bull months. He's in the afternoon and the morning sessions. He's about 2 hours every day, 4 hours every day here. He's very disciplined, so something we need to be as a trader, discipline. All the techniques that somebody learns is by watching charts, listening, how I explain it, why I say certain things, and then just follow along. There is a reason why I say certain things will happen, so the same for this movement. I said this was a possibility to take a short of. There is a reason why I say all of these. So if you listen to the context, you will easier get it. Like the charts are a language. So like you speak English or French, candles are a product, and those are also the language that we need to learn to understand how the market moves. So we got news in about 3 minutes. We will see what this one wants to do. So news in 2 minutes. Let's see what happens. If we then get some kind of movement. For all new traders out there, I can also help you guys. Make sure that you he asked about yesterday's your yesterday trade that you took. He didn't understand why you in the afternoon why you entered. Not the fastest market still same pace, not much happened. And the key thing for a new trader is to, if you are ever in a trade, let your trade play out long enough. Let it do its thing, what it's meant to do. If it's right or not right, it doesn't matter. If you can repeat the process over and over again, and you know out of experience, if you trade this model multiple times, then it will come to a correct answer. So make sure that you always can repeat the process that you do, and if you follow a process, make sure that you let that trade also play out. Because you can do many things right here and actually don't have any clue to do anything. So you could have stopped yourself out by doing nothing, or just be patient until this plays actually out. Because this came close to his stop, nothing happened yet, and he's still in it. He just had patience. And the best thing to do if you are very unsure about these things is close your book. Set your TP, close your book, don't watch it again, come back in a few hours. That's the best advice I can give to new traders too. This way you'll learn to let a trade play out and don't do anything that's not needed. Because I know out of experience how much people like to press buttons sometimes. It's not your fault. It's not actually your fault. It's just because we're taught that we need to do a lot, and in trading, it's the less you do, the better you get at it. Still the same pace, not much happened. News didn't do much. We're probably heading now for Asia high if it doesn't move down right here. So it's built up a bit of sideways liquidity right here. It just took out the high, a low. But if you watch that hourly, we're still actually at that same level. So that was a very slow market the first 2 hours of open. My limit order is still in, so I'll leave it open. We'll see if we can hit and we have that long, yes or no. If I see anything else coming up the next hours, I'll definitely share it in Discord again, like always. So I want to challenge on my getting to a funded account like I promised in Discord. I'm on right now $51,114. So I'm up $1,100 and a bit at this point. First week was not a profitable week. This week looks great. Made everything back and with more. Just by repeating the same processes. This is still a valid trading. Nothing happened yet because we didn't take out a high yet. So we're still in this fair value gap right now. We're still trading on that 30-minute fair value gap right now. Because if we take out this high, that's 25,000, 555, 550, we actually then change structure again. Then this fair value gap would be invalid. But until that happens, everything's still valid. And then the patience is the only thing you need to have, and let your trade do its thing. I'm now 51,087. Oh yeah, I'm now 51,087. Oh, I was looking what field? Yeah, you mean your how much you are on your profit? Yeah. Now I got the answer. What you said. Good. Is this still your first account? Great, look, this is how to be disciplined. You can be very proud of yourself. You took only valid structures, entries, and look, the account maybe went not positive the first few months or weeks, just to be, you're in a learning phase, so you didn't spend anything, it just cost like $50, so in those 12 weeks, maybe you spend $150 in total. But it's for learning. You learn a lot of emotions to recognize. You learn a lot of skills extra. And that's a very cheap price actually you pay for those skills to learn. Because once you master them, you can use them everywhere in your life. And look, you're already 51,087 right now, and you didn't even do anything that great. So you just be patient. You took a few trades that run fully to your TP, a whole long structure, and you made back everything that you gave in the last 2 months. So congratulations, good work, happy for you. Discipline. A good trader has discipline, and I have to say, I'm actually sure that women are better traders than men. Yeah, they have more discipline than men do. Men are good at making money or doing actively something. Women are good at having patience, being supportive, following plans, structure. Women are better at that than men are. And I'm a man, so that's not good for myself to say actually, but it is true. I've seen a few girls right here that are trading with us already, and oh, yeah. Mommy is typing. Yeah, she's sitting beside me. I'm actually very proud that most of you guys, to see you grow and learn the skill step by step. That means that my teaching are doing something at least. I believe also the live lessons helps a lot. Be seeing trading alive, having the patience. What actually helps best? I do want to know this from all of you. So what do you put the most value on? Do you put on the live lessons, the live sessions more value, or on the lessons itself? The more feedback I get for you guys, the easier it is for me, for myself also. To understand what helps best for everybody. It's a combination. Have a great day, Willem. So here's 10 o'clock right now, about 40 seconds. Still in that same region where he entered. Not much happened yet. So you can see how much patience a trader actually has to have, because nothing happened in the last 2.5 hours while we were sitting here, except me chatting, saying too much maybe. Wat ben je aan het doen? Open mijn hond. Ja, oh, ik had er niks op zeggen. Kan je hier bezig zien? So it's 10 o'clock. That's about my time that I most of the time get off. Anybody that hasn't been in here with me for a while, you guys know this. My limit order is still on the screen, so you know where I will enter. I'm just gonna be patient. I can't do much about it, except wait until the entry comes. Or be patient until the entry comes, actually, better to say. I hope most of you did not touch any buttons yet until we actually had that full movement. If you're in a trade, great, keep it open, let it play out, see what happens. Don't move your stop, don't get out of it because it just came 1 point of your stop, because I've seen it multiple times happen. If for value gaps lays perfectly, it can come to like 2 points of your stop and then flushes immediately to the direction that you want. So always be okay with your stop too. If you're not okay and you don't feel comfortable, it's maybe because you gave you want to give too much to the market, take less contracts into it then, so that you are feeling okay to give that amount to the market. It's necessary for yourself to be okay with every trade you take, because otherwise you're gonna create a very not good habit for yourself, and you don't want that at all. Believe me, it's not easy to unlearn something that you learned yourself, because it's easier to learn something as a good habit straight away than first of all having the habit and then to be unlearning it and then to learn it a new one over it. So then you need to actually remove thought processes that you already created, and by eliminating, say that your trade goes very close to your stop loss and it then wants to hit your stop loss, and you decided to take it out just before the market actually started rallying to the place that you wanted to see it go, and you just took it away. So, and then afterwards the market rallies to where you want to, you're not going to be happy. And if you did take it away and the market hits your stop, you're going to have actually a positive feeling into something that's not correct. So make sure, just let your stop do its thing. Again, if you don't feel okay with your stop, it probably is because it's too big or it's not placed correctly. Can happen too. Make sure that you change it then. Still a very choppy market. Not much to talk about, except that the market is going sideways. Again, my limit order is there, so I'll enter when the limit order comes for the rest of the day. If I see anything, I'll post it in Discord. I wish you all a very great trading in the rest of the session. I am getting offline right now. Need to make sure that I can implement everything that I have to do for the day, and this takes some time, of course. So wish you all a great session. Thank you for being here, like always. I appreciate it, and I'll see you back this afternoon, of course.